Hello, thanks for joining me. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and also click on that bell button so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. Now today's DIY is a centerpiece, and I'm actually going to make it a few different ways for you. The first way, we're going to need some of these shells that you can purchase at Dollar Tree, and these skewer sticks. They're the ones that you can roast marshmallows with or what have you. So what we're going to do first is measure out one of these skewer sticks for it to fit into the vase that you're going to be using. I'm actually going to use one of these large dome vases, and I just cut one out just so I can know how where to stay at, like where my sticks should be lower than, in order for me to stick them into this vase. And I just used one skewer stick, cut them into pieces, just random different sizes, and set those aside. And then I got these foams that come in a pack, and just used one to trace out the top of my vase. And to trace it out, all I used was one of these pointy sticks. Using a box cutter or something, scissors to cut out the foam. Set that aside. Now using some Fix-All glue and hot glue, start adding sticks to your shells. Now this one right here, it has 3 shells together. I just wanted it that way to put it in the center. So what I did, because I was scared one stick wasn't enough to be secure, I added 2 sticks. Just to make sure it wouldn't fall and it would stay in place. Now, since you're going to see this all around, since it'll be a centerpiece, I decided to go ahead and add another shell to the back of this little design that I made in order for it to look good all around. And just put hot glue and some Fix-All glue to wherever your shell connects to the bottom shells, if that makes sense. And then just set that aside and let it dry, and continue to make different designs or adding shells to your sticks. You might not use as many as you glue onto these sticks, but you just do as many as you think you want to add to each one of your vases until you figure it out. Now with the foam, I ended up cutting it a little bit smaller, because I'm going to add sand to this instead of what I had chosen to do first. So what I did was add some Fix-All glue to it, to the foam piece, and then dip it into this bowl of sand just so it can look like a rock of sand, I guess you could say. And then set that aside. One thing, when we get to the part where I added sand to this, I'm going to explain what I would have done instead of doing it the way I did it. Now we got one of these Dollar Tree candlestick holders and added some jute twine around it. Mine was spray painted gold because it was from another project that I had already done. Now again, with your lighter, just burn off all the excess frays that the jute twine has. Now to add your sticks to the foam that you glued onto the saucer, or you could glue it onto a mirror using Fix-All and hot glue, you do the same thing to each stick that you're going to use for your shell. Now make sure you add the center one first before you start adding all the small ones around your display. And if you saw me moving the sticks around, just a little trick I do is every time I'm going to glue something to foam, since it kind of melts with the hot glue, I try to let it cool down a little bit depending on how much glue I add to the sticks, just so it won't fall apart and it'll actually stay in place and the foam won't melt. Now you see here that I'm just cutting the sticks smaller. So once you start adding your shells, you'll just start randomly cutting them shorter or looking for some longer ones. Just depends on how you want to make it. That's totally your option. Now this is what I'm saying. I don't know why I did it this way. I have no idea, but I did. And it just ended up being a huge mess. What I would have done was actually add the sand to my vase and then add the Fix-All glue and hot glued to the lid of my vase and then actually flipped my shell display inside my vase. That way I could have added more sand to it instead of doing it this way. I don't know what I was thinking, but it happens. So this is the way I ended up recording it. But again, I would have added the sand into the vase and then flipped the shells into the vase, so that way it could have glued better without any sand being around the glue or fix-all glue. And you can actually add more sand to the bottom. But you guys get the idea of what you can do. And believe me, next time I do this, I'm going to do it that way. So just put something on top to make sure it holds and has time to dry, the glue to dry. Now, using these pretty picture frames that I purchased at Dollar Tree also, I'm leaving the glass in there, and I'm adding a mirror from some other project that I had, an extra mirror, and putting it into this copper or rose gold picture frame that they had. And that's going to be the bottom of one of my displays. Now, this jar with the lid, I'm going to add some nautical rope to the top of it to make it make a handle, and then wrap it around the part where the lid is twists on, so you won't see that part as well. Again, fix-all glue and hot glue to the ends of your rope for your handles, and then you just use hot glue to wrap the rest of the nautical rope around the top part of this jar. You guys let me know down in the comments below which one was your favorite once you see them all. So you just continue to wrap this around the top part of the jar until you like it. I believe I wrapped it around 3 times. And if you see, I actually put the glue on my rope and not on the jar itself, just so I can know that the rope is going to stay in place more secure. And then you set that aside. And you're going to get some of the paper, the contact paper that looks like wood. Now they have light color or the dark color. I just had the color that I had, which is a darker one. And using one of these stovetop covers, flip it over, it's the larger one. Traced it out, and then I traced it out larger than the actual cover itself, so it could be wrapped around the edges as well. So the way I do this is I open it up a little bit, and I just use my candle holder to secure the top. Make sure that I have enough flap, I guess you could say, to wrap around the edges, and then pull. So when you do it this way, it's easier for it to not have bubbles on the bottom part, or the top part, I guess you could say. Now I just cut little random sections around the edges so it could wrap around it nice and secure. And then, so I can make sure it stays in place, because the sticky part of this paper isn't really that sticky, or at least it doesn't stick good to this cover. So I added some hot glue to the edges and glued it in towards the part that you won't see. Like so. And you can leave it this way, or what I did was sand it down a little bit. And you can, like I said, you can leave it that way or do it the way I choose. Let me know which way you're going to do it. I think this would look really cute for like a shabby chic wedding centerpiece, or even just, a beach wedding. If you want it more elegant, you'll see it, a different version of it in just a little bit. But this one right here is more country, shabby chic style, if that makes sense. But then I glued it onto my candle holder. And then I'm going to actually add the jar that we made with some lights inside of it. And I'm adding sand and some shells to it as well. You can add a candle. You don't have to add the lights to it at all if you don't want to. And just like I said, add a candle. One of those small battery operated candles would look really cute in here too. And just like so. So that's the first one. Now the second one that I'm going to be making for you guys, the second version, I'm going to use the mirror that we added to the picture frame, using some lights. Now you can use the Dollar Tree lights. I had these that are the Amazon lights. I'll link it down below where I order them. So if you like to order them, they come in 20 in a pack. And I like them because they have the actual battery pack is a lot flatter and thinner, so you can't see it as much. But what I did here, of course, I'm not doing it because of the video purposes, but you'll add glue and E6000 to secure your top to the shells again. But I added the lights to my shells. And then I added one of these pretty candle holders to the side with some sand and shells in it as well. Now, again, you can add one of the battery operated lights to this candle holder if you like. And then I added just a little raffia just to tie it into the Seashell or beach theme wedding or centerpiece for a quinceanera or a birthday party, whatever you like. And this is the second option. So this would be the first option, and then the second one's coming up. What do you guys think about this one? I actually like it with the lights in with the shells. Let me know down below which one you liked more. Now, the third option is actually one of my favorites as well. All of these were my favorites, but I decided to use these pretty gold straws that they have at Dollar Tree as well, and then these 3D butterfly stickers. Now, the same way, you just cut the stick to fit into your glass vase, and then just cut your sticks and add the butterflies to your sticks. Now, another option, if you didn't want to use the glass vase and you wanted to use plastic square vases they have at Dollar Tree, the longer ones, those are really pretty as well. That would be an option to use. Say it's at a kid's birthday party or something like that, and then you can just buy the plastic plates, the smaller like dessert plates that come at Dollar Tree as well. And I added moss grass in the bottom, and here you go. This is the third option with lights inside as well. So what do you guys think? Where would you use your DIY at? I hope you guys enjoyed these 3 different options of using basically the same material. Until next time, you guys have a great day. Bye.